guys, Robert1 here, coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video, and in today's Yu-Gi-Oh video, we're doing a segment on the channel that I have not done for a very long time, because honestly, I haven't needed to do this segment for a very long time, for a lot of reasons, because Konami have actually been really good with their ban lists, and recently, they haven't, because they missed one card on the ban list that is currently destroying the game. And the segment we are going to be doing today is Konami fix the ban list, because if they do not put this on the next ban list, I am going to lose it because of, honestly, this card is ruining the game. This card is forcing people to play a specific way, and this card literally says you cannot play with your extra deck. And the card we're talking about today in Konami Fix the Ban List is, guess what? Artifact Scythe. The card that literally 90% of the community will say, yes, it deserves to be banned. The card is degenerate. The card literally says you can't play your extra deck. It stops 90% of the format from playing the game. But then there'll be that 10% that says, no, don't ban Scythe, ban Dagda. And we're going to be talking about these two cards pretty much. Mainly Scythe, because Scythe is the one that really does deserve to go. And talking about why Dagda isn't a problem. And also talking about why Artifact Scythe needs to go. Because guys, I've played 2 tournaments this weekend. I've been testing for a regional because I have to play, well, Scythe to actually do well, because everybody seems to play Scythe. If you're playing 60 card pile, you're playing Scythe. If you're playing, well, Prank Kids, you're playing Scythe. If you're playing any deck that can make DPE Dagda, you are playing Scythe. So I've been testing it, and I have literally gone 9-0. I played in a 4-round locals and a 5-round locals. I won both of them. I lost every single dice roll. I lost basically one game. And Scythe was the contributing factor, because every time I went first, I won. So, let's go ahead and talk about this. So, why does Artifact Scythe deserve to be banned? Well, let's talk about what the card is. So, Scythe is pretty much an artifact monster. You can set it in your spell and trap card zone from your hand, and while it's in the spell and trap card zone and is destroyed there, during your opponent's turn, you can special summon it from your graveyard. What happens when it's special summoned from the graveyard during your opponent's turn? Your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. Pretty simple, right? The card says your opponent cannot special summon from the extra deck. Now, a lot of decks wouldn't be affected by this. Eldritch for one, Flunderies for another, decks that don't use the extra deck. But the problem is, 90% of the meta uses the extra deck. If you're playing Sword Soul, you can't summon from the extra deck. If you're playing Prank Kids, you can't special summon from the extra deck. If you're playing Phantom Knights, you can't special summon from the extra deck. If you're playing Cyber Lich, you can't special summon from the extra deck. Get what I mean? This card literally stops 90% of the meta, and even rogue decks that really do need the extra deck to play the game from playing the game. So basically, if you are playing Scythe, you are preventing your opponent from playing the game, interacting, and doing anything, because 9 times out of 10, if you are playing a Scythe lock deck, any deck, 60 card based, Cyber Lich, PK, Prank Kids, any of these decks that make Scythe DPE, your opponent's going to get OTK'd on the next turn. And that is very stupid, because Artifact Scythe is the key factor to why these decks can just literally go, oh yeah, I went first, I Scythe lock you, I win the game. Yeah, it's just that. And you're probably thinking, oh, there's lots of ways to stop the Scythe. You could play Droplets, you could play Imperm, you could play Chalice. Yes, these are all things that you could potentially do, but 9 times out of 10, these cards are also paired up with the Brave Engine, and the Brave Engine is a completely different subject. We're not going to go into it in this video, other than saying that it adds a negate to prevent the Scythe lock from being negated. So, in all honesty, it's basically saying, no matter what, your Scythe lock is going to go off. And, guys, let's be honest. Scythe lock is degenerate. It's a lock in the game that says you cannot play the game. It's a lock in the game that literally says your extra deck is negated. And if you can't play your extra deck, how are you supposed to interact with your opponent? How are you supposed to try and build a board that can break your opponent's board? How are you even supposed to try and play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're playing a card that says you can't play the game? And that's the problem with this card. The card originally wasn't that busted. But in today's meta, where you're able to make DPE to pop it, where you're able to just make tons of ways to get it in the graveyard, where you're able to consistently search it with Dagda, this card is insane. Just for the fact that it's too consistent, there's multiple ways to get to it, and there's multiple ways to summon it from the graveyard during your opponent's turn, or pop it during your opponent's turn to allow you to just go ahead and say your opponent can't play the game. So, in all honesty, this card does deserve to be banned. Now, before we go into anything else, there is one other thing that we obviously have to say, and that is Dagda. And as I said at the start of this video, about 10% of the community will say Dagda should be the card that is banned. And to those people who think that, that is incorrect. Dagda being banned would not stop Artifact Scythe. Artifact Scythe would still be very consistent. Artifact Scythe would just see a new way to be played. And the reasoning behind this is there are a lot of decks that can abuse Baroness, yes? And these decks are very, very good for the fact that every one of these decks that can abuse Baroness can either go into the Hulk combo to allow you to just go ahead and send it to the graveyard with Shooting Rise of Dragon, which will allow you to then go into Baroness to summon it during your opponent's turn, or you can go ahead and make Beatrice, send it to the graveyard with Beatrice, make Baroness, such as in Virtual World, to then summon it from your graveyard during your opponent's turn with the Baroness again. There are so many other ways to bring this out from the graveyard. Even if you ban Dagda, the combo will still be consistent. You will still be able to abuse Scythe. There will be just tons of different ways. The Auroradon combo is one, because literally a tuner and a non-tuner can equal Scythe. It's just, no matter what you do, as long as Scythe is in the meta, unless you ban like 10 other cards, you're not going to be able to see Scythe gone. It will still be in the meta. It will still be playable. It will still be just a very degenerate and consistent card to play, because as long as there's a way to put it in the graveyard, and as long as there's a way to summon it during your opponent's turn, this card will be degenerate. So that's just a small thing I wanted to talk about for those people out there who think Dagda should be banned instead. No, there's plenty of ways to summon it still. There's plenty of ways to get it in the graveyard. There's plenty of ways to abuse Scythe still, even if you go ahead and say, yeah, we can just ban Dagda and solve the problem. No, you need to ban Scythe. But guys, that's just me. Honestly, going 9-0 just because of Scythe, and even though I've lost every dice roll, I've still been able to win our 9 rounds, is just a joke, in my personal thoughts and opinions. Just the fact that I can go XO through 2 tournaments, no issues, losing every dice roll, and every time I go first I just summon Scythe, and just watch my opponent die because they can't play the game. It's not fun, it's not interactive, and yes, you can say, well, just don't play Scythe, but the thing is, when everyone else is playing Scythe, you kind of have to as well, or you're just going to lose. Because, oh yeah, you get Scythed yourself. Well, how do you win? How do you deal with that person who's playing Scythe? The answer is, you can't. Because, well, you need a way to stop it. You need a way to beat it. And the only way to do that is really just to play Scythe yourself so you can go ahead and kill them with their own game. So, yeah. That's just all I have to say, guys. I know it's been a long time since I've done Konami Fix the Ban List. Honestly, this is a segment I didn't think I'd have to make ever again, because recently they've been just really good with their ban lists. Sure, they've done a few things that I wouldn't agree with, such as skill drain to free, but this one they missed, and in all honesty, it's just not fun. And I feel like it should have definitely been banned on the last list. It should have definitely been dealt with. It's literally got multiple decks that are fully built around it. 2 of them being b.a.s.e.d and Cyberlich. Cyberlich is literally just go ahead and Scythe lock your opponent. There's literally nothing different with it. And yeah. But guys, that's all I have to say. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy the video. And yeah, guys, Robabat1 signing out. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Do you think Dagda should be banned? Are you one of the 10%, or are you part of the 90% that think Scythe should be banned, because then you're just no more problem, you can have your extra deck space. Anyway, yeah guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Robabat1 signing out. Later.